welcome to the long and short. On this channel, we show you how to trade the crypto market from both a long and short-term perspective. It doesn't matter if you're a hodler or a scalper, we have something for you. These videos provide daily TA on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a number of other cryptos, but we also post tutorials on how to take advantage of this market with smart money, price action trading techniques. If this is the type of content that you're looking for, please like if you're in the crypto fight, subscribe if you're with the vibe, share if you care, hit the bell if you need direct mail. That's a notification if you know what I'm saying. Now, let's get to the money. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Thank you all for joining. Hope everybody's doing well. Quick update on how we're going to break these videos out from now on. So we're going to have the full videos where you'll be able to get some insight on news, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index and Bitcoin futures, things of that nature. Then we're going to split the video into a second half that we'll post again with just the chart information, because we think that, when it comes down to it, some people are fundamentalists, some people are traditionalists when it comes to that. Some people are more chart oriented, technical analysis oriented. So we want to make sure that we're serving both audiences well. So we'll post both videos, the full video, which will include the news, and just a chart oriented video for guys who just want to take a look at levels and things of that nature. Okay, so that's the update. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Crypto Fear and Greed Index currently sitting at 20 from yesterday's 20. I think it's going to be a lot higher going into next week, right? People saw a really big pump today, nice bullish movement, nice percentage gains on the market. So we'll take a look at all of this on the charts, show you what we're targeting next, okay? Some of our positions that we took over the past couple of days, doing very well, and we're letting those ride, okay? We are at levels already with some of these where we can take profits. This is how fast the market can swing, all right? 10% jumps in crypto are not uncommon. So with this type of market, you can be in one day, out the next day based on our strategy. But for the most part, right, we're letting a lot of things ride because we think the bulls have started to show up. There's some things on these indicators that are showing us that they are and that they should be at this point, right? And there's even things in the news leading up going into February. We said we wanted it to be bullish, and this is what we're getting. So let's take a look at the news here. Michael Saylor confirms fast-growing institutional adoption of Bitcoin. So if anybody's going to know this, it's Michael Saylor. And the reason why I say that is because the man holds conferences with institutions on how to buy Bitcoin. All right. And when he does this, it seems like it pumps the price. He did this last year and it pumped the price. Okay. So when Michael Saylor has conferences and he's meeting with business owners and larger institutions on how to incorporate themselves into Bitcoin and how to work the tax angle of it and how to do it in a way that's beneficial for their company, right? If he's able to show them this and they're able to replicate that, your adoption is going to increase tenfold by other companies, because at that point, they're not going to want to miss out on this. All right, so let's take a look at this. CEO Michael Saylor, known for his consistent support of Bitcoin as the unique investment opportunity for corporations, asserts that he observes the growing adoption of the major cryptocurrency among institutional investors. Macro and hedge funds have demonstrated a more positive attitude towards Bitcoin as they recognize its strategic benefits compared to other assets. Current macro financial situation in different parts of the world also indicates serious problems present in the traditional banking and monetary system, facilitating the reorientation of Bitcoin among private individuals and corporate firms. So what they're telling you here is that the entire use case, the white paper itself, is starting to prove itself true. These institutions are starting to see Bitcoin as a hedge, okay, against inflation, as a hedge against a rising dollar. And these are the things that people want to experiment with, right? And if institutions want to experiment with this, by all means, this is better for us who have been in this space a little bit earlier. Crypto provides a fair playing field, essentially, where we can be in before the institutions. And that's why this thing right here has so much buzz. And that's why the people who are in a little bit early, okay, are seeing the benefits of this, because they understand this stuff. Okay, this is why we're here. We understand this stuff. We want to help educate people on this so that they don't miss the boat. Because once these institutions really start to pile in through proven use cases, that's very important. They have to prove it to themselves that they can replicate what Michael Saylor has been doing. And if they're able to do that, then off to the moon we go. All right. There's growing awareness of major characteristics of crypto assets, which is another thing that Michael Saylor just keeps throwing out there. He has debates with guys who like gold. He has debates with people who don't think Bitcoin is going to do anything in the future. And it seems to me that he wins these debates. So as long as Michael Saylor is out there waving this flag and people are listening and looking, okay, this is bullish all day long. The higher involvement of institutional investors in the crypto industry relieves the volatility of the market, allowing Bitcoin to avoid the rapid price declines during recessions. Now, this I don't so much agree with. Institutions, they'll move the price, but they can move it up as well as down. Okay, so higher institutional involvement. If things really hit the fan and they decide to get out of Bitcoin, the prices will crash in ways that people have never seen. So although I sort of agree with that, in some ways I don't, right? That, their institutional involvement will level off the price. It may push the price to a very high level and then it'll start to stabilize to never come down again to the levels that we're seeing now, like the 20 and 30,000s. But I don't think that volatility in Bitcoin is going anywhere, to be honest with you, okay? MicroStrategy brought an additional 660 Bitcoin on Tuesday, increasing its total holdings to more than 125,000 Bitcoin. Boy, do I wish I was in that boat. All right, that's the bullish news. You can see the charts are up as well. Let's talk about a little bit of bearish news because you can't always talk about the bullish stuff. You have to equalize yourself when it comes to this market because as we all know, it will humble you. So this is one thing that caught my attention when it came to NFTs, and I don't know how to feel about NFTs yet. Everyone has an opinion. I don't know how to feel about them yet. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. I don't know if the prices are way too high. I don't know if they're low. Okay. I don't have a clue about what's going to happen with NFTs, but we are watching this space. All right. I'm a trader. I watch charts. I know TA. I can show you how to do that hands down. Multiple different ways to look at that. But when it comes to NFTs, what I refer back to is the project itself. Okay. And if the project itself is having issues, not hitting milestones or running into technical problems, these can be things that will affect the price and eventually the project overall in the long run. So there's a big vulnerability right now that's reported on Bored Apes Yacht Club. Okay. And it's something that is a bit worrying. The reason why is because essentially what they're saying here is that there's a function in the smart contract that allows the owner to print as many apes as they want to. Not only that, they can print about 30 at a time. And this is an open contract, which means that it can happen at any time. Okay. You can just have an additional number of Bored Apes that just come into the market. Now, for a non-fungible token that's supposed to be set at 10,000, if they start to increase that number, the price will probably go down. You're adding supply to the market, which could also increase demand. But if nobody's really buying Bored Ape Yacht Club for hundreds of ETH, the price is going to have to come down to serve the market at places where they want to buy it. So this is the problem. So let's go ahead and read through this just to make sure that we have the facts correct. And then we'll give our opinion on it. But this right here is pretty dangerous. As the function reserve apes in the contract suggests, it should set some Bored Apes aside, but in fact, the function allows minting of 30 apes at a time without even paying network fees of 0.08 ETH. But the main problem is that the function allows the infinite minting of the collection. Infinite minting. The code was more likely left open accidentally. The code was more likely left open accidentally, and there should be another function that will prevent the reserve apes function from being repeated by the owner, as the on-chain data suggests. The account ending in EE4D03 is still active and could mint more apes. The wallet has the authority to change the metadata tied to each existing non-fungible token within the collection. That's the most dangerous part. The metadata is the information on who bought it, who owns it, okay, the wallets it's connected to. So if you can change the metadata, you can essentially reclaim all of them, all at the same time, all right? So what this is telling me is that this is not decentralized at all. There's one person who can control how this plays out, okay? And it's all based on their decision to do it or not. Now, I'm not trying to cause mass hysteria when it comes to NFTs in general, but for Bored Ape Yacht Club, but for Bored Apes, this is a major, major vulnerability for people who own this, okay? I would not look the other way when it comes to this. It's still possible to avoid an unpleasant situation by calling the function to renounce ownership. Unpleasant situation isn't the words that I would use. I would call it shit hitting the fan, Okay, that's what I would call it. If this actually were to go down, do you understand what this would do to NFTs as a whole? All right. If people experience this in the largest or most wanted, most desired NFT, it can happen on any other project. This one, though, well, it would be something different. Okay. Also, the thing that also concerns me about NFTs is that OpenSea also has vulnerabilities. Okay, people have had their Bored Apes stolen from them. Okay, as well as other NFTs. So I like NFTs. Okay, this is the reason why I'm in the middle. All right, because I like NFTs. I like art. I like to draw. I like to experiment. I like to create. Right. I appreciate the artistry for real NFTs. Things that people create are amazing. Okay. Even some of the Bored Apes. Okay. I can understand the draw and the attractiveness to having that type of NFT. But what I can't understand is why people would ape into these type of things. Okay. Without really understanding the space. There's a lot of mystery around the space. How the prices are actually inflated up to the prices that they are for literally pictures that you can screenshot. All right. You have to make me understand this value a little bit more. So I can appreciate the art. I can appreciate what they are meant to represent. What I don't appreciate is the backhandedness, the scamminess angle of it. And what I don't appreciate are the vulnerabilities. Okay. And the fact that they're too damn high to buy right now. That's what I don't appreciate about them. And so until those things sort of meet in the middle for me, okay, right now, I don't know what to think. And I'm sitting on the sideline when it comes to NFTs. I know people are making hand over fist cash with some of this stuff, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last. And I don't want to be the last guy holding the bag, if you get what I'm saying. Diving into Bitcoin futures, we have broken above this 13 EMA in a very, very, very aggressive way. Okay, so this price action here that you see me circling off, very similar to the previous break of the 13 EMA, and price just went on a rally. Okay, so we are at a pretty judgmental time. We said yesterday, right, that price has to make a decision. Is it going to break north? Is it going to break south? We're waiting to see what happens. And seems like we started to break north today. It's a Friday. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday is going to give us more information on how the market really feels about cryptocurrency. All right, Amazon had really good earnings. I thought that they would be down. Okay, but I think they were down in their earnings, but they hired almost 150,000 people. Okay, also paying attention to the more macro news of things, payrolls are up. People are going back to work. Okay, and with that, the Feds have more of an inclination to raise the interest rates. Remember, we have to watch the factors that affect what they're going to do in March. If people are going back to work, that means that all of that free money that they gave us, they want to start to pull some of that back a little bit. And how do they get it? Taxes. What are interest rates? Taxes. So if they raise the interest rates, it went from 25 basis points, what some were thinking, now to 50, okay? That right there is a bit of a change in week to week and what we've been thinking. So again, we're watching the FOMC in March. We anticipate that they're going to raise the rates. One of the factors that we were looking at as to why they would raise those rates has come true today in the market. More people are getting involved back in work, which allows the government to say, hey, you're making money from your employer now. We don't have to sit there and give you money anymore, but we do want some of that back. If you guys thought that all of that spending last year was just free money, this is when you find out that it's not. All right. So that's a macroeconomic issue that we're going to continue to watch. But right now, things are very bullish in the market. Okay. A lot of bullish volume coming in today. Excellent, excellent, excellent day for the markets. Okay. Now, on the commitment of traders, what we're looking at is that the larger speculators are pushing off of that zero line up, right? Retail swung even lower to the shorter positions. So we said this is a good catalyst, right? These are the things that we've been watching over the past 2 or 3 weeks so far with the commitment of traders, looking at where those large speculators are sitting, right? And we see they crept their way all the way up here to the zero line. They pushed above it, and look at what happens today, okay? Retail, smaller speculators going lower, shorter positions, right? A lot of people were thinking that prices were still going to visit lows. Everyone was asking, are we at the low? Are we at the low? We still may go visit it. Okay, guys, don't get it in your heads that everything's going north now. Okay, these are the fake outs that the market likes to throw as well. And if you look at the chart, you can see If you were to draw a trend line, you're still within these little ranges and wedges that everyone's drawing on their chart. You're still trading within some of those places. So we're watching, right? But the commitment of traders is going to give you insight as to where the market wants to go, okay, over the course of the next couple of weeks. So we see that the larger speculators are pushing north, okay, taking net long positions. Retail, smaller speculators going net short, which gives the larger speculators even more steam to push up higher, okay, because that's where they're taking their money from to go. And then, of course, the commercials have sort of stabilized at the zero line. They are serving the market. Beautiful. This is what we want to see. On the elder ray, you have bulls pushing over the zero line. Remember what we said. When the bulls push over that zero line, they're trying to assume power back in the market. You can see it here. You always have to use your correlations. Look to the left. You see that as soon as they pushed over, if we just follow this line up, this is when the bull market kicked in back in, what was this, in October, okay? So we're seeing the same thing today. Not as hard of a push, but this is definitely bullish. On a Friday, though, we always have to be careful. Monday or Tuesday could reverse us back down. How we start the week next week is going to be very important for price action over the course of the rest of the week, okay? If we're bearish on Monday or Tuesday, then we can try to expect for more bullish activity towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're going to experience a yin and a yang during the week, okay? Price is very bullish on Monday and Tuesday. Chances are it may start to scale back or stabilize by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These are the things that typically happen in the market. Not guaranteed, but typical, all right? The thing that scares me a bit, though, is that the bears are still here. They're still on the opposite side of that zero line. So if you notice here on this one, okay, price is pushed up, the bears followed pretty much the next candle up, okay? So we want to see, are the bears going to follow past the zero line? If they do, then we're moving. Okay, we are moving. Money flow coming in. People were accumulating today. We can see this on the charts. Things are looking fairly up. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the trading view charts so that we can get a look at where our levels are, some of the positions that we've taken, and how we're doing on those. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the charts. And before we start to talk about levels and things of that nature here, we always like to tell people this is not financial advice, but we do have a pretty unique way to break down this market from a price action trading perspective, both long-term and short-term. So what we're going to preview here is, of course, long-term price action, where things may go, places to scale in, places to scale out. We'll also cover the total crypto market cap. We'll also cover some scalping opportunities and swing plays that you could potentially make on Bitcoin according to what we see on the charts. Again, not financial advice. Please use risk management if you are trading. That is the first lesson that you should learn. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Crypto total market cap right under 1.87 trillion. And in our opinion, if we break over this line, if we clear this imbalance, break over this line, we should try to go for 2 trillion, a little bit higher than that. Okay, so let's see if we're able to get an injection. But as you guys can see, this was probably one of the most bullish days in crypto in a very long time. All right. Everything is still pumping. Now, we are closing in on the 7 p.m. hour Eastern Standard Time, which starts the new day for crypto, okay? So the next day's candle is going to be a Saturday candle. Let's see how stabilized the market becomes over the weekend. You can have price swings as well, okay? So we need to be cautious and just keep our eyes on these charts to see if price starts to retrace back down, all right? Whatever happens over the weekend, price is probably going to fill that gap on Monday or Tuesday and then continue in maybe the same or opposite direction, depending on where the market is at that point. We do want to see this break over 1.87 and continue to move higher. If that's the case, then all of these positions that we've taken at lower levels are going to start to run. Okay, then we can start to look at where we're going to start to scale out of some of these positions to lock in profit, put some dry powder on the side, just in case things get sour for the FOMC. All right, that's the strategy. But crypto market cap looking very strong today. Let's go ahead and move to Bitcoin dominance, currently sitting at 42.17%. Dominance in Bitcoin and ETH pretty strong today. Okay, ETH had a stronger day. So let's take a look at ETH, which is currently sitting at 19.29. All right, we like to see if ETH can climb over 20%, stay over 20%. It's had a struggle to do that recently. And so if it can, then that'll be a good thing for ETH. But otherwise, sitting in a pretty good position there at around 19% for dominance on the crypto market. let's take a look at some scalping plays and dive into where there may be some swings and scalp positions to be taken. Okay, Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Now, what we like to do here is give scalping swing opportunities, potential plays that may happen, and we can give a bullish perspective as well as a bearish perspective. But no matter where you look on the chart, price could go either way. All right. For the most part, it's completely random in which way it wants to go, but you have targets to the top side as well as the bottom side that you can utilize to understand where the closest targets are and where price may be getting drawn to before it reverses. All right, so on the hour chart, let's talk about the bullish perspective first. As you guys can see, we are setting higher lows, okay, higher highs. And this is very bullish in regards to price movement. The areas where we may be chasing, okay, were these equal highs here. We said that price would go for those. It broke through those pretty aggressively and kept going. Okay, so this gives me confidence that price is also trying to fill in some of this order block area here that was previously acting as support. Okay, so when we broke through this level, we left an imbalance here. Price is starting to trace its way there again. Okay, now remember what we said about imbalances. Once they're filled, in terms of an overall price objective, price has the ability to go the other way on us. Okay, now breaking these equal highs and also extending past it and not reversing here shows me that we're in more bullish territory. But will we turn around at this imbalance is the thing we need to watch out for if we're going to think long here. Okay, trading back up into this order block here may be an area of resistance for us. Okay, so everything looks fairly bullish in regards to the price movement, but we need to be aware of where they could turn us back around. And I think if there's anywhere, it's either going to be this area of imbalance or these equal highs here. Okay, if you scale out to a longer term perspective, these equal highs could act as an area of resistance as well and push price back into a longer term range. Okay, which is also a scenario that we're watching for FOMC. So some areas to the top side that price could gun for and continue to climb. And if we make it to the 42,000, 43,000 level, okay, as we said before, once Bitcoin gets really near that $1.8 trillion market cap, which is climbing close to, it's going to be at around 40K, right? And this is where we are right now. So can this continue to push up? It's going to depend on a lot of more influx into the market, but I think that's available and possible going into next week. That's your bullish case. Now your bearish case, okay, you also could see price pushes back into a range to the lower side. You have imbalances here. You have equal lows sort of set very nicely right here, okay? So whenever price sets very equal levels of liquidity, it'll try to go back and take those levels, okay? Also, what we want to also pay attention to is if price swings us back down to honor these levels or if it kicks us lower into more of a ranging market around, say, 40K to 30K, 33K, all right? So less likely to happen based on today's price action. But we can't let the market just lead us down the road. We have to be prepared for either scenario. So what am I planning on short term? We are going to swing back down through this imbalance area here. But what are we looking for in regards to movement? So if we zoom in a little bit on this, okay, what we're going to do is draw a Fibonacci from the lower level here up to this higher level here. And what you'll see is an area of confluence right in the golden zone where we could actually consolidate and then start to push back up. And what price would actually do at this point, it would have refilled this imbalance, okay? If it comes down and just takes these equal lows or at least sets the level there, okay, it could push back up right from these levels. And we're eyeing somewhere between 38 to 37, okay? Maybe 38 and 23 bucks and 37, 278. These are the actual levels of the golden pocket for us right now, okay? Below the 50% level. So what we're thinking is, if price were to go back down and bounce from this level, very bullish, very, very bullish. Or if price were to come down and snatch these equal levels here, okay, that's a little more rocket fuel, but it's going to push us lower to maybe 36. So if we're remaining bullish, which we're leaning towards right now, okay, then we're looking for a refill of this imbalance to keep price moving in these areas, okay, because I think if it extends too fast, by the FOMC, we're going to fall, all right? You want to see price retrace this. If we don't retrace this, then these will be levels that we see again. Guarantee that, folks, okay? This happened too fast, in my opinion. One of the biggest days in crypto in a long time, okay? We're going to come back to this level eventually. When is the question? I would rather it happen sooner than later. I'm not saying things bearish. This is for the bullish momentum to continue. The retracements are important. If price refills these areas, then we have a lot more rocket fuel to push to the top side. Because for everybody going short on the retail side, that just gives all of the institutions and larger speculators and larger hedge funds who are trading against you the money they need to push the price. Okay, guys? So we have to play the yin and the yang to a certain degree. But if you understand how these larger institutions are playing the market against you, then you can play with them against everyone else rather than against them and let them take advantage of you, if you get what I'm saying. All right, so that's the swing down that we're looking for a push higher. If price were to break into these lower levels, okay, then of course we may be going into a range. Hopefully it's just to snatch the liquidity and push a bit higher. Okay, so that's the bullish and bearish scenario. We definitely think that things are going to continue more bullish, but this weekend we may sit still just a bit and range within this little area. Hopefully, though, we can come down and clean this up a little bit. If we do, then that's good news, okay? Going into Monday and Tuesday, things can continue to remain bullish and more money can be brought in and our positions can grow. All right, so that's what we're seeing on the short-term chart. Definitely some scalp plays to be made if, in fact, you are starting to fall into a range here. You know, these are hourly candles, right? So if you zoom in to maybe a 5-minute, 10-minute chart, you can start to place some of these range expansions here as price starts to consolidate a bit. But looks like it's still trying to push, guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens over the course of the next few hours, over the weekend, and going into next week. All right, so let's kick things off on the Bitcoin daily chart, and it looks like price is still trying to push a little bit. Good stuff. We actually missed our scale-in positions here, but we already own a pretty sizable portion of Bitcoin, so we're not really concerned about that. But these are levels where we're still looking to accumulate around 34, 32, 31, 30,000. Okay, so price is definitely pushing up. Looking to our scale-out positions, and for the most part, we are accumulating Bitcoin. Even if price were to hit these areas, we're not necessarily looking to scale out. Okay, but we did put them here for your notice in case you are looking for some potential areas where price may potentially turn around or good areas to take profits at. Okay, so these areas for scale out are around 45.5, 50,838, around 55,770, and 63,400. Okay, so we did a pretty in-depth coverage of this yesterday. We're going to do a full tutorial also on how to set these things up, how to find these levels, how to mark off discount, premium zones. We're going to do the full spiel on how to get this entire chart set up for yourself. Okay, so that's coming soon. But again, we're tracking towards the FOMC, which are these blue lines here. And right now, seeing some very positive movement for Bitcoin. Everything's up today, guys. Look at these percentages. One of the biggest days that you've seen in crypto in a very long time. All right. Moving forward to ETH. All right. Ethereum also creeping up to a scale out position. You see, you're starting to get a bit of resistance here, guys. And these are the things that we're talking about. If you're taking profits at these levels, these are the levels that you will probably want to take it. Okay. Because price is going to start to get pushed down a bit, or at least meet some resistance here at these scale out levels. Okay. So over time, we're going to see how this proves out. As price continues to rise, all right, we're going to see if these scale out areas are actually proven as areas of resistance, okay? Or if price pushes down off of them, or if it just breaks through them, okay? Some of these levels may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to find over time that these are some of the areas where you're going to start to find some of your resistance, okay, for particular cryptos. So ETH is starting to push up against one of these scale out levels in the low premium zone right now. ETH showing a lot of strength, up 10%. Bitcoin is up 10%. I mean, guys, what more can you ask for in a day? All right. They're finishing it off strong. Let's see what happens in Asia, but this is going to get very interesting. All right. So again, we say anytime ETH dips into a discount area, we are scaling into it. And if it dips in there lower, we're scaling in more. You know, Ethereum, something that we love, something that's going to be here for a long time, we think. So some good areas to take some profits here if, in fact, you had gotten in at some of these lower levels. We're not saying drop the whole bag, but you could take what, 10%, 20%, you know, at least what you invested. Let the rest ride, guys. That's the way that we're going to play the game. All right. Moving on to BNB. BNB has been sitting right on this line for low premium and discount, and it only broke into discount a couple of times, right? So these ranges here do matter, guys. BNB is something that we think is going to remain strong, showing a strength today. It's up 6%, almost 7%. Okay. So the scaling areas here, right, were the areas to get in, but we want to see this climb a bit more. Lots of imbalance to the top side for the scale outs. Okay. So BNB Still a good buy, we think, at these lower areas of low premium, because we think that this coin will definitely continue to rise and break out. BNB is definitely going to be over $1,000 one day if this exchange continues to rise and build. All right, moving on to XRP. XRP breaking out of these lower levels, right? So XRP was pretty dormant. We were talking about XRP pretty bad past few days. But again, you see, broke into the bargain zone, very similar price movement to BNB, right? 2 spikes into the bargain zone, boom, push higher. But BNB spikes, they were into the discount zone, right? So again, these zones matter, folks. They're going to show you areas in price where price may go, where it may not go. All right, so boom, 2 spikes into the bargain zone, missed the scale in zone, all right? But at this point, we're still in the discount zone. So if XRP is going to run, okay, these scale out positions can actually become scale in positions. We just have to move them down. So this is how we would actually make the adjustment, okay, for XRP. If we want to actually turn this into a scale in position, okay, we would just switch it to the bottom of the imbalance rather than the top. Okay, so understand the difference. If we're pushing up from the bottom and we're bearish, okay, and we're thinking that price may turn around, we want it to fill the imbalance, and then after that, it can turn around. Okay, that's typically what's going to happen with the price. But if we're bullish, okay, and we're switching our bias to bullish, then we have to switch it to the bottom of the imbalance, because just like it can fill it from the bottom side, right, we want it to fill it from the bottom side moving up to the top side, okay, if we're bullish. So our scale in position actually falls to the bottom of these highs here, okay? These will be the areas where we scale in. We do it here, we do it here, okay? Right, on these areas of imbalance, okay? So as we set these up in the discount positions, right, if we were seeing this live and we were in our accounts, okay, we would scale into XRP pretty much at this point, okay? So not a bad buy, still in a discount zone at 65 cents. And we think that XRP has the strength to go above $1, stay above $1 once it gets outside of this SEC lawsuit. So right now in the discount zone, pretty good area to buy. Let me actually go ahead and switch up my templates as well to scale in positions, because we don't want to get confused here. All right. So as the market adjusts, you have to adjust with it, guys, right? That's the whole intention, the entire point of the game. If the market goes from bearish to bullish, if you know how to adjust with it, then you're able to take advantage of positions when they materialize and the market turns on a dime, okay? All we did was switch from scale out to scale in positions. We think getting into XRP at 65 cents, right? You see it's still showing strength. Very strong day. We think that these days will probably continue. Okay, this is a money influx, guys. This is different, okay, from what I'm seeing here. Money came in today in a very big, strong way, and the entire crypto market was affected, not just one coin. All right, so this is a different day, guys. Remember that. This is a different day. All right, so we see XRP pushing up into the scale-in zone, pushing above it. That shows you some validity in what we're showing you here, guys, right? All right, let's move on to ADA. All right, when it comes to Cardano, again, in the scale-in zone, we said getting into Cardano somewhere around $1, right? Can't really beat that. So today, again, strong push with Cardano, up about 7%. Prices do seem to still be climbing a bit, guys. There's imbalances to the top side for price to go take out. And again, we say scaling in at around $1, scaling out first area maybe around $1.72. These will be the areas that we're looking at for Cardano. Okay, so we have all of our areas set up. Very nice price movement in Cardano. Still in the discount zones. We still think it's fairly cheap to get into Cardano right now, trading at $1.13. Taking a look at Solana, we are creeping up into a scale-in zone. Okay, so Solana is something that we're trying to get into. Not necessarily sure how much we're going to drop here because we are at the top of the discount zone. But this is something that we're looking to scale into as well. All right. We may want to actually wait for this to kind of range out if in fact it does. We do have some Solana already, so we're not anxious to get in, right? We can wait. We can be patient. We don't have to buy at these levels of the higher discount zones. If price were to swing back down to within these zones, though, definitely a good attractive buy if it gets to the lower end of the zone. Anywhere under $100. Right now it's at 112. Still not a bad buy though, right guys? So Solana showing some strength today as well, up 10%. Okay, AVAX pushing up into the low premium zone. Okay, so we can see it here, guys, right? Scale in, scale out. Okay, coming right into that low premium zone. And again, you're starting to get a bit of rejection here, but not very much, right? But
you are starting to see prices push down. This is why it's important, guys, for us to pay attention just to these levels and understand that why they're set up there, where they're set up, the reasons why they work. So price pushing up, pushing down a little bit off of this level, okay? But ultimately, AVAX coming out of a discount zone, still hanging around that line for low premium, but very nice push today, up 13%, guys. All right, 13% for AVAX today. Very, very nice push today. Everything seems to be pulling further up. Continuing bullish movement. So we're coming out of that discount zone, currently trading at $77.36. We think AVAX is still a fairly good buy, but at these areas, we would start to think about scaling out. We're still waiting to get into AVAX. We want to see it a little bit lower before we really take a position. First area that we're looking for is around $60 for AVAX. So if it drops there, we're definitely getting back in. When it comes to Atom is one that we took a position on the other day. Okay, so we got in on this day, dipped down a little bit, was a bit in loss, and then boom. Next 2 days kind of just took off. So we did honor our rules and we took some profit on Atom, okay, right at the scale out level. And as you can see, it's just kind of hovering there right now. So we didn't take a lot of it. We took 10% of the trade that we put in, right? But at least it's locking some dry powder aside, guys. These are the things that keep you alive in the market. As long as you always have some sort of dry powder on the side, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. These things can fluctuate all the time. The people who get in trouble in this market are the folks who put all of their money into it and have to lock it in there because they're down now and they're scared to pull it out because they don't want to take the loss, okay? We'll never be in a position like that because we're always pulling some type of dry powder out, okay? So we did take some profits here, okay? 10% of the original trade. We're going to let the rest sit. We want to see price continue to push higher, okay? But no matter what, we're going to put a little bit of dry powder aside, all right? Now, Atom, also, low premium zone, okay? We think that this price will definitely push higher if you take a look at the overall market structure. Once it comes into our discounted zones, okay, from this yellow line here, it doesn't really stay there very long, okay? So these are the things that we're watching and continuing to watch. But Cosmos, Atom, definitely having a very strong day again today. And we are up in this position, took a little bit of profit off, but we're going to let the rest run. All right, when it comes to Polkadot also trying to work its way out of a discount zone, just past the big scale-in level, right? So if you were playing this, right, you would have hit that scale-in level, you would have been up some on that actual trade, okay? See, no real retracement at this point. Now, price could just sort of swing with the rest of the market and play around this level for a while, but you do have some positive action to the top side here that price should want to go get, okay? Now, when it comes to DOT, you can see the price action has been sitting sideways, so this upward movement is good to see, okay? It is moving with the rest of the market, and these are the things that we want to see with price action, okay? Did move 8% today, so it was one of the bigger movers, all right? So hit that scaling level, stayed above it. These are the things that we like to see. Right now, trading at a discount of $20.44 on Polkadot. Let's talk about MATIC in an area of low premium right now, okay? Nice bullish price movement, but this still looks like a range to me. It's not really breaking out of this range just yet. You have a really nice high that was set here. Let's see if price is going to break that, continue to reach for this imbalance to a scale out area, okay? But if MATIC were to fall back down, we're looking to get into it somewhere around $1.45, maybe a little bit lower than that. We think that MATIC is something that's going to continue to boom, right? Just look at the price action. So we're looking to scale in if this price does fall. We think that MATIC is a pretty good project. All right, let's move on forward. Okay, so let's talk about Terra Luna. Terra Luna actually fought its way back from a negative day today. It was down, the only one that was down on my chart starting the day off. But then it climbed its way back, right? So as you can see, the chart's actually just reset here. So you'll see fresh numbers. All right, but for the most part, Terra Luna was down, bounced back, did climb its way out of the discount zone into a low premium zone. So what we also want to show you guys here too, right, is that these levels of scale in, right, this was a previous order block. Last down move before a nice, really hard up move, okay? This area was respected. Price came down after all of this bearish movement, touched this area in the discount zone, and then turned north, okay? So as you can see, this was a scale-in area. Scale-out area is right above here, right? So this is positive gains for anyone following this system. It's positive gains for anyone who understands where to draw these levels on the chart, right? That's why we want to show you guys this, because this is very powerful if you know how to utilize it, all right? So we're going to continue to watch this. Right now, Terra Luna is in a low premium zone, but it's playing the line between low premium and discount. It's the weekend, so things may get a little bit choppy. and just fluctuating in these areas. So going to be interesting to see what happens with Terra Luna next week. But right now, we think it's still a good buy in our opinion. All right, looking at Theta, again, zooming out on Theta, very negative price action, but also had a very nice push today. Okay, so the gain on Theta was pretty substantial, but still in a range. Okay, you notice how some cryptos are really pushing higher, some are staying within a range. Okay, so the ones that are sitting still, we still want to watch these because these could pump a couple of days from now, next week. All right, just because they're sitting in these ranges doesn't mean that they're going to stay in these ranges. But right now, we're still in the bargain zone. I'm anticipating that price may actually want to come down a little bit lower, which is where my first real scale-in level will be for Theta. Okay, so currently don't have any positions, but if price were to come down to around $1.65, these are the areas where we will be interested in getting in. Otherwise, we can wait, we can be patient. We are invested in other things. We don't have to get into anything at this point when it comes to crypto. We have positions, right? So we may take a position, may not, but this is one thing that we're watching for sure. Okay, Harmony 1. Also, you see how these lines are respected. Scale in area, okay? Danced around this for a little while, boom, took off. Coming from a discount zone into a low premium zone, we're looking for these areas above maybe 25 cents and above to start to scale out, okay? So Harmony 1, another positive project that we're looking at. Coming out of this discount zone here, great area to scale in over the past couple of days, right in this little zone here. So price is going to push up out of here. We're pretty sure going into next week. Lots of good things happening for Harmony 1 over the course of the next couple of weeks. So we think it could actually push up way past this low premium zone if, in fact, a lot of news starts to come out about Harmony 1 and some of these bridges that they have with Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. All right, so positive news, hopefully, for Harmony 1 to push them out of that discount zone into a low premium zone. But right now, still a good buy, sitting at around 19 cents. Okay, for Secret Token, see Secret Token has broken its way out of the discount zone into a low premium zone, okay? Didn't come down to touch our levels for scale in, but that doesn't mean that we're just going to leave it there, right? But that doesn't mean that it won't, okay? So we still may actually see Secret Token push down to these levels at around 402, which make it attractive for us to get into. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't really stay in these areas long. When it comes down here, there's also some confluence to the left with the area of imbalance. So price could come back down here, okay, set an equal low, and essentially just keep pushing up higher. So that's why we're looking to get into Secret somewhere around 402. First area of taking profits or scaling out would be somewhere around $7.50 or a little bit higher than that. Okay, moving forward. All right, when it comes to Fantom, we are trading in a low premium zone, pushed and supported here at this level pretty well, right? But when we scale in, we want to scale in a little bit lower, coming in somewhere around $1.68 to $1.50. Okay, are good scaling positions for us when it comes to Fantom. Right now, a little bit too high for us to buy. Just a little bit. Okay, even if price were to go on a bull run and just take off, right? That's not going to bother us, guys. And you just have to learn how to separate yourself from that type of what you would call disappointment. The market's going to give you opportunities over and over again. It's the impatient people who get wrecked. Okay, if you're patient, you'll never get wrecked. If you learn patience in the market, easiest way not to get wrecked. And that's what we learn and develop is patience. Okay, how do we develop patience? Set your levels, wait for them. Easiest way to do it. All right, so price pushed up, looking like it wants to start to push down some here. But again, this is very micro movements. Okay, we have to see how the days are going to develop. And if, in fact, over the course of the next few weeks or next few months, price does come back down into these levels for Fantom, these are areas where we're interested in taking a look. All right, taking a look at VeChain, also did touch this area for scale in here, okay, that we had identified, but it's sort of starting to be supported there and break out of this area. But again, price still very sideways in a range. Even if we blow this up some, you can see price still stuck in a range, okay? So do we anticipate that this is going to run with the rest of the market? If it really starts to run like it did today, of course it will, right? We see the positive price action in price. We want to see price break above this market structure, but right now, still a very good buy, we think, at 5 cents for VeChain. If, in fact, this project is going to continue to push higher, it should push through this discount level into low premium zones. It has done it before from these levels, okay? So this is what we're looking for. Moving forward, let's go to Algorand. So Algorand was one that we did take a position on last night because we were touching our scale-in zones, okay? So price did push up today, gave us some positive gains on that. So good work so far, but we are still stuck in the range. So in regards to Algorand, the difference between our position in Atom versus Algorand is that we are still in this range. Plus, we are still in areas where we will scale in. So if price were to come back down here, we're not necessarily going to throw more in, right? But we are in scale in positions. We are anticipating that price may actually come back down here, okay, with no problem. If it were to turn bearish next week, okay, we could actually see these levels again. So we're going to hold our conviction, because if we zoom out and look to the left a little bit, we'll see where the areas of confluence are, right? Lots of accumulation in this area. This is where price typically takes off from. So we're feeling comfortable in this position. We're up in the position right now. We're not scared. We're going to hold this and see what happens, okay? But we did scale in. So let's see if we start to climb up higher to these levels where we can scale out and realize those gains. Okay, Filecoin also came to an area of scaling, right? Based on these equal lows over here, previous price action, broke down below it. So scaling in at this level, you may have been down a little bit, but price is starting to push up. It's some. So scaling into these levels, you may have been down for a few days, but price is starting to push its way above. So you will start to be seeing some gains at this point. Ultimately, you know, Filecoin, we think, is definitely going to continue to push up with the rest of the market. It did have a pretty nice day today, but there's a lot of room to cover for Filecoin, right? If we were to just kind of zoom this out, you see really big candles turn into small candles. That's a bit concerning, means the volume is dying. And actually, our first scale out areas are going to be in discount zones. Now, a lot of faith that Filecoin is going to be able to climb their way out of this depth, but we'll see, maybe. All right, taking a look at Dogecoin, also had a pretty positive day, but again, you are still stuck in this range, this greater price range for price. You want to see Dogecoin break out of this, okay, and just keep going up higher. But again, a lot of top side pressure, very big wicks to the top side, guys. Very concerning for Doge. Right now, stuck in the bargain zone, trading at 14 cents. Okay, we're not really sure if Doge is going to be able to break out of here, but we are looking to scale in if price were to come down to the 9 and 7 cents levels. These are the levels where we think if they're going to find any support for Doge, it's going to be there. Okay, so we'll see what happens, but Doge had pretty nice influx of cash today. It was up pretty nice percentage, so we'll see what happens. But right now, Doge in the bargain zone, trading at 14 cents. Okay, taking a look at Loopring, also trading in the bargain zone. Price did come down, touch a scaling level that we set the other day. So we want to see if price can also come back down here again. We'll be interested to see if it would. But Loopring is pushing, right? Looks like the metaverse is really kicking up some steam today, right now as we speak. Okay, so going into Asia, metaverse is kicking. Pretty interesting there. But anyway, all right, price is definitely moving up out of this bargain zone. So again, guys, just because we set levels at scale in here doesn't mean that you have to scale in where we scale in, right? Essentially what we're saying is if you work your way in at these levels of discount and bargain, okay, then you will see positive gains when price reaches these low and higher premium areas. Now that seems pretty simple, but it's harder to do. So we set levels of anticipation to wait for price to hit in order for us to take these positions without worrying as much, right? Because as price is falling, that's where people get discouraged in actually buying in these areas. We can draw them out all day, right? But the emotional aspect to it also matters. So we're showing you how to eliminate some of those emotions and fear by drawing out some of these levels to understand where price may go, all right? But we can see price came down, bounced off of this level. We think we may see lower prices here, which is why we're still looking to scale in at these levels, okay? And haven't really moved any scaling positions up to discount yet. We want to see stronger price movement, okay? So this is a little choppy for us, still sort of in range. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next week. All right, Enjin token continuing bullish movement, pushing out of a discount zone. And as you can see, we did have a scaling level here. So price crossed that level today and kept going, right? Looking to fill its imbalance here. Scaling levels also set here, okay? So right around $2.32 is really the last place where we're thinking to get in. Right now at $1.75, price did push past this level and keep going. So this scaling position would have also worked, okay, in regards to being positive at the moment. So what we're seeing here when it comes to Enjin token, a lot of nice bullish movement, okay? Price can jump right from these discount zones to high premium zones. So we'll continue to watch this over time, but Enjin looking very good today. All right, Mana having an even stronger push, okay? So price did dip down, came into filling some of this imbalance, right? Not all of it, but some of it. There's still some to the bottom side that we're looking to get in at, right? So these scaling positions, they may get hit, they may not. Either way, the one scaling position that we were looking for, okay, did get touched and it just kept going. All right, so we're going to look to get in if price were to fall back here again, but price is starting to creep out of this discount zone. Once it gets out of the discount zone, these are areas where we'll start to take some profits at the scale out zones. Okay, so right now trading at $2.95. We are looking at Decentraland to continue to push up higher and break into this low premium zone. Right now, it's pushing probably harder than any other crypto in the market. When it comes to Sandbox, trading at $4.10 at the current time of recording, also in the discounted zone, trying to push its way into a low premium zone. Right, so all of these things moving in unison when it comes to the metaverse. All right, and again, scale in zones respected. If they are respected, you're going to see them push up into the scale out zones, which is where you'll probably take your first profit in the low premium, right? So things are looking pretty good here for Sandbox as well. We are looking to scale in at around $2.83 if price were to fall there again. We think that these are pretty good areas to get in. Below that, you have an area at about 180, but really anything below this area here are good areas to scale in. All right, when it comes to Chainlink, Chainlink is pushing up on a scale-in area for us, so we may think about taking another position in Chainlink, okay? And you can see areas are respected. Chainlink does jump out of these areas pretty aggressively, and we think Chainlink is something that you would want to accumulate whether you're in a bull market or a bear market. Doesn't really matter, okay? So scaling in, I think we're going to take a little bit more in regards to position on Chainlink tonight, and it is showing some green today. Very big day for Chainlink as well. You can see the nice bullish price movement there. And there are some objectives to the top side for price to go get. So scaling in right here at around $17.58 in the discount zone is not a bad play for Chainlink. Okay, AVAX did show some life today. Okay, so we do have two scaling positions breaking out of this bargain zone into the discount zone. We want to see if price will continue to take out these imbalances and reach these highs. Okay, so AVAX is something that we're also continuing to watch. But in a bargain zone right now, price could break a little bit lower. If we could get AVAX for under $100, to us, that's a steal. All right, but even at 170, 175, these are positions that we're interested in taking because when you look at the larger range for AVAX, you do have a lot more room to the upside to run. Okay, so definitely interested in taking a look at this once we start to reach some of these scaling positions. And the reason why we'll wait, right, and not get in right now is because we don't want to be anxious. You see how price is touching this equal high right here? It could easily come back down, guys, right? We want to see price break to these levels to start to take these imbalances. Right as it starts to take these imbalances, these are the areas where we want to be in if price is moving up from the bottom side, okay? Because we know that at this point, price has an objective to go and get, which is to fill the imbalance. And we want to be part of that ride, all right? That's the logic that we're using behind it. All right, when it comes to the graph, also in the bargain zone, and again, the graph looks pretty sideways, right, guys? Look at the current price action. You see you have a high and a low that are still being respected with the current price action. So if the graph could break out of this level, take these imbalances out, okay, these are areas where we're interested in getting in. Maybe, let me actually adjust this line here a bit. I want to bring this down some to about right there, maybe. About right there. All right, so right now, graph is actually at a scale in area where we think it may be beneficial to scale in if in fact you're looking to get into it. But again, if you zoom out here, right, graph has had some pretty negative price action all the way down to this point. So you're at the bargain areas. If we're looking to get in, these are fair areas to get in, right? Lower prices that you've seen for the graph in a long time. So I think the market is going to continue to go bullish. Not necessarily a bad play if you're thinking about the graph. All right, right now trading at 44 cents in a bargain zone of price action. And when it comes to CRV, last but not least, also in a discount zone, but working its way to break out, right? Again, scale in position, touched, looking to scale out soon, okay? Breaking into the low premium zone. And you can see CRV does swing from these zones pretty rapidly. Great coin to do some swing trading in, if you ask me, when it comes to CRV, right? These moves are pretty substantial. This looks like a minute chart, you know, how price moves on a minute chart, but it's just a daily chart. So the longer term substantial swings do happen in this coin pretty nicely. So at a discount right now, currently trading at $3.42. CRV, we think, is still a good deal at these levels. All right, so let's go ahead and start to close out. Once again, guys, we're going to continue to try to mold and shape this content into better forms. We know it's a lot of information to cover, and we know these videos get pretty long. So we're going to start to break them out full video, and then we're going to break out the chart analysis just so that people can have both perspectives and don't have to sit through a full, you know, news conference before they start to get to the charts. All right, so these are things that we will continue to do. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe if you like this type of content and the analysis we bring here. The things that we're showing you on these charts are starting to materialize and prove themselves true. And as long as we can show you this, right? The only next step is to show you something, you know, in regards to actual trading, right? And we can show you some of this too when it comes to account history. Haven't been trading lately on the demo account. Okay, we've been taking some actual live trades, okay, because there's a time to show demo, there's a time to get into the market for real. And we think right now is a time to get in for real. Okay. Always thought February was going to be a bullish month. Traditionally, it's been a bullish month. And so we're not really expecting too much difference here. But some things are going to run harder than others. Some things may actually sit still. And all of this is leading up into the FOMC, which we're going to continue to track towards to see how prices are going to react if, in fact, the Fed does raise those rates. All right. So that encapsulates it. I thank everyone for joining. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully I'm able to bring you some sort of information that can benefit you when it comes to taking a look at trading crypto and getting involved in this market. All right. It's your boy Maestro. Salute, love, peace, respect. 100. We out of here. Peace.